So starting on our hands and knees, step yourself back into a plank position. Keep the elbows nice and soft. And then paddle the feet as you start to lift up through those hips. Bringing one heel down at a time as you found yourself in downward facing dog, that A-shaped position. When you're happy to bring those heels to stillness, let the heels draw towards the mat. Bend the knees slightly if you need to, just to soften off through the back and the hamstrings. Have a little nod and shake of the head. So we're going to flow a few poses on the right side and then take them on the left. So take a breath in, put your weight into your left foot, raise your right leg, bend your right knee, turn the hips to the right side of the room, pushing the right foot towards the left. Realign the hips, bring that right knee into the chest. Gaze in between the hands, step your right foot through, either dropping the left knee if you need to bring that foot forward. Lift the back knee if you've dropped it. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling to find high lunge, crescent lunge, pushing that left heel back, keeping bent into that right knee. So transitioning from this pose, we're going to warrior two. So drop the back heel down, turn the shoulders and the hips to the left, bring your right hand forward and your left hand back. Finding warrior two, right knee turns out to get a stretch on the inside of that right thigh. Shoulders stack over the hips and we're gazing towards those right fingertips. Both arms in line with the shoulders. Turn the right palm, reach forward towards the front of the mat. Then send that right hand up to the ceiling, left hand down that left leg, or maybe bring that left hand around the back to find a bind onto that right thigh. All the time keeping a bend into that right knee and the hips are low, pushing energetically into that left foot and breathing into that space of the right rib cage. The gaze up to that right palm. Bring those shoulders back over the hips, bring both arms back out, T-shape, then straighten your right leg, reach forward and down with the right hand as the left hand lifts. Maybe gaze up this time to that left palm, finding triangle pose. Try and make the same length of both sides of the torso so we don't just hang over that right leg. Little micro bend in that right knee so we don't knock out in the joints. And you use the muscles in that upper right thigh to hold the pose and protect that knee joint. Left shoulder stacks on top of the right. Push nice and strong into both feet. Bring the shoulders then back over the hips. Take a bend back into your right knee. Right forearm onto the top of the right thigh. And reach your left arm up and over towards the front of the room. And gaze up into that left palm. So try not to let that left shoulder drop forward. Keep the space of the chest open to the left. Keep bent into that right knee, hips nice and low. Head in line with the spine. Try not to let that ear drop to that right shoulder. Take one more breath in this space. Then bring those shoulders back over the hips. Turn both sets of toes to the long edge of the mat. Bring the hands to the hips. Breathe in. As you breathe out, come to a half fold. Take another breath in here. Then your next breath out, release those hands either down the legs or to the floor in between those feet. Let the head hang, give that head a nod, give that head a shake. Not necessarily bringing that head all the way to the mat if it doesn't reach, but just an intention to get there. If the hamstrings are tight, just slightly bend those knees. Your next breath in, come up to a half lift. Bring the hands to the hips, breath out. Breath in, come up with the shoulders. Turn the toes out, heels in, hands to the chest, palms together. Bend into the knees and find a sumo squat. Bums tucked under, lower belly lift, shoulders still over those hips. One more breath in sumo squat. Then straighten through both legs, turn the right toes back to the front of the mat. Take a bend into that right knee, windmill the hands down. Step back to plank and lift the hips and squeeze the heels back. So we'll take those exact poses on the other side. Breath in, put your weight into your right foot, lift your left leg, bend your knee, push the left foot to the right side of the room. Realign the hips, bring that knee into the chest. Then bring that left foot forward, dropping the back knee if you need to. Lift the back knee now once the foot's through and raise the arms. Find crescent lunge, high lunge. Left knee bent, right leg straight. Then find your warrior two. So we drop the right heel down, turn the shoulders and hips to the right side, and the left hand comes forward, the right hand comes back. Left knee's turning out to the side. Left knee stacking as much as you can over that left ankle and bringing that left thigh as parallel to the floor as you can. Push energetically into the feet, gazing to those left fingertips. Then turn that left palm up, reach forward, send the left hand to the ceiling, gazing to that left palm. Maybe have the right hand down the back right leg or bring it around to find a bind onto that left thigh. Taking nice easy breaths in reverse warrior, breathing into that left rib cage, keeping the hips nice and low. Then bring those shoulders back over the hips, arms out T-shape, straighten your left leg, reach forward with the left hand and bring that left hand to the inside of the left shin. Right hand lifts, gaze up to that thumb, right shoulder stacks on top of the left. Left bum cheek tucks under, right hip turns out, and create space down both lengths of the torso, both left and right sides. Don't collapse over that left leg. Then bring those shoulders again back over those hips. Take a bend into your left knee, left forearm, left thigh. Reach up and over with the right hand, still gazing into that right palm. Not letting that right shoulder drop forward, keeping the space of the chest pointing to the right. Long line down that left side body. Long line down the right side body. One more breath here. Then bring those shoulders back over the hips, straighten both legs, turn both sets of toes to the long edge of the mat, toes in front of the heels, hands to the hips. Breathe in. As you breathe out, come to a half fold. Breath in again here. And then breathe out, either bringing the hands down, the legs towards the shins or the ankles, and just letting the body fold over those legs, just encouraging that head as close towards the floor as you can. If you need to take a little bend into those knees, just a little micro bend so you don't hyperextend in those joints. Hold it in this wide leg forward fold. Then your next breath in, come up to a half lift, place the hands back on the hips, take a breath out here. Next breath in, bring those shoulders back over the hips, turn the heels in, toes out, bring the palms together at the chest, bend into those knees. Find a sumo squat here, lower belly lift, tailbone tucks. Bring those seats as low as they can go. Push into those palms to activate the arms. And then straightening up through both legs, turn the left toes back to the front of the mat, arms wide, bend into the left knee, windmill the hands down, either side of the left foot. Step the left foot back to plank. And then lift the hips and squeeze the heels back. We will take a couple of vinyasas just to take our bodies into flexion and extension. Come forward to plank on the inhale. Drop down with the knees, turn the creases of the elbows, untuck the toes, release to the floor. Push into the hands and lift up the chest. Release that chest back down, tuck under with the toes. Bring the chest back towards those thighs. Push into the hands and feet, lift up the hips and squeeze the heels back. Taking the second option of straight body, releasing to the floor, coming forward to plank on the inhale. Release down to the floor with a straight body. Roll through, up, lift up the chest. Release the chest back down, tuck under the toes, chest back to the thighs. Push into the hands, push into the feet, lift up the hips, squeeze the heels back. One more option, stick with option 1 or 2 if you wish. Forward to plank on the inhale. Release to a hover, elbows graze the ribs. Roll over the toes, lift up the chest. Making your way back to down doggy, the chest to thighs. Or rolling straight over those toes, lifting the hips, squeezing those heels back. Coming down onto the knees, untuck the toes. Bring the seat to the feet. Breath in. Raise the hands to the ceiling, palms together at the top. Breath out, bring the hands to the chest, soft gaze to the floor. Have peace in your thoughts, your words, your hearts. From my heart to yours, Namaste.